and what is up, One Piece players? You know that OP14 release event will start in 1 week, and it's great time to prepare yourself for it. In today's video I will explain how to win an upcoming release event, and for this you need first to be a good player and second to build the best deck from cards you pull. And it's exactly what we are going to do today, because if you know in advance which cards and which game plan you expect to see, you can play around it, and the key point is the strongest play and game-breaking combos you can do.
Game-breaking.
But of course, for everyone, we will cover the most important issue related to the One Piece release event. For beginners, it will explain what actually happens at a pre-release event and what should you bring to your local store, and the most important, which cards you should play. So let's get into it. The pre-release event can be either constructed or sealed. In constructed, you play as usual you play at locals, you bring your own deck and play. In sealed event format, you will get 6 packs of OP14 EB04 set. You can build only a 40 cards deck, not 50 as usual. You have no color restriction and you can put any amount of a single card in this deck, but you can use only cards you pull from these 6 packs. If it's sealed format with a Rainbow Luffy leader, it means you will play this leader. It is 5k power, 5 life leader. According to the rules, this leader is the card with all names, characteristics and attributes of the cards. For example, in case of this Jinbei, which is blocker and has an effect on KO, you may rest one of your cards, and if your leader has the Fishman or Merfolk type, which Rainbow Luffy has, you can play one green 6 cost character from your hand. The same is for Kid, you need to have a leader Supernova type, and also for Arlong Sorcerer, your leader has to be a Fishman. In case of Silver Rayleigh, there is 2 conditions, and the first one, your leader is a multicolored, which obviously Rainbow Luffy is, and the second one, your opponent has to be at 3 or less life, then you can KO up to one of your opponent's character with a 7k base power or less.
Okay, let's move on. Every participant will get a participation pack, where you can find a special Rainbow Luffy leader and a new promo girl. But that's not all, don't forget to open your event pack. You can find 2 extra cards with a release event stamp. You can also include these cards in your deck.
And the winner of the event will get a promo girl card with a winner stamp. And a little bit more about preparation in case what to bring with you to the release event. So you should bring the sleeves, you need 40 sleeves for your 40 card deck. Also you can bring your own Rainbow Luffy leader if you want, or you can use the promo you will get in the promo pack. Also take Dawn cards, transparent sleeves for in case any hits you will get from the booster packs, and bring playmat and dices to decide a turn order. And now you're fully prepared for the release event, let's move to the most interesting part, which cards you should play. First, let's have a look which special cards we have in this set. So we have total 11 special Rs in this set. We have 2 cards from EB01, this is Kid and Killer and Weevil. We have 2 new cards from EB04 and OP14. This is the Kid and the Boa. We have also 2 cards for Buggy. This will be the common version and the golden version. We have also from PRB2 the Zoro 2k, OP07 and 8 it's Sengoku and 2k Pirona. Then OP10 will be Sugar Sorcerer and OP12 Dracul Mihawk. Let's have a look at which cards we can pull from these booster packs. So total we have 6 packs, every pack consists of 12 cards. 10 cards out of 12, this will be a common and uncommon or maybe a leader pack. There will be 7 common cards and 3 uncommons. Rest 2 cards could be a rares or rare and super rare or rare and secret rare. The 6 packs, so total will be 72 cards, 60 cards out of these cards will be common and uncommon, and there will be at least 12 rares. So if you will be lucky, then you will get also more SRs as a last hit card. So it could be like either 10 rares and 2 super rares, or like decreasing rares and increasing the number of super rares. Talking like in numbers, the amount of commons will be like 60%, 25%. This is uncommon cards, and only 15% rares and super rares. Let's go deeper into the cards which should be included in your sealed deck. So let's start with 2k counters. 2k counters is the must-have cards you should include in your sealed deck. When you start with the opening the packs on sealed event, you can immediately sort the cards in different piles. One of these piles will be a 2k counters, so you can immediately put every 2k counter separately, then you can later took them and include in your deck. We have 20 cards of 2k counters total in this OP14 EB04 set. 9 from them are commons, 9 uncommons and 2 rares, so it will be very likely that you will pull around 10-12 2k counters. Let's talk about the best 2ks in this set. So a very flexible Bartolomeo 2k, which with 2 Dawn attached becomes a blocker as well. So it's flexible, you can either play it when emergency or keep it as a 2k counter. The next one is Homadrill, also 2k counter, with nice effect when this character is rested, then you can rest a 4 cost your opponent's character. Very nice. And then another 2k, Kikonojo is a great card for green Mihawk deck, but in this format it's just a 2k counter. Then we have a Kozuki Oden. It's a nice play because on opponent's turn when this character is rested, it becomes 2k power more. So it will be 4 cost 7k body, which will be very difficult to deal with for your opponent. Then we have EB04 card, 2k counter, that's Megalo. It has a great on-play effect, KO arrested, 8k power, base character. So it's a nice removal and also a 2k counter. Always include these cards in your deck. Let's move to the next must-have cards, blockers. They are crucial in the release event format, especially in the endgame. In the OP14 set there is no unblockable event, which is important, but there are some other ways to deal with blockers. There are total 17 different blockers in this set. We have a lot of common cards, 10 common blockers, 2 uncommons, 3 rares and 2 super rares. In comparison to OP13 set, there was less blockers, so it's more likely to pull around 5 blockers, so you can include all of them in the deck. Let's check the champ blockers. They're really cool blockers. They're cheap, so you can play just for several dons a blocker and save you from taking life later. Especially some of the blockers, this Salome card has a trigger, so you can play it from life, which is sometimes game-changing play. Some of them have other effects, like this green blocker Kazuki Sukiyake, which can also once per turn give 1 rested on to one of your leader. So include every champ blocker in your deck. Talking about blockers with some extra good effects, we can also mention the Bartolomeo blocker, the 2k and blocker, very flexible. Then Captain Kid and Shirahoshi, they are both 4 cost blockers, as well as Mr. 4 have extra effect. With the Kid you can play a 2000 power character, which is not really relevant in this format, but with Shirahoshi you can also play a 3 cost Merfolk or Fishman character, which can be an Arlong Sorcerer or another one. With the Mr. 4 you can on KO use his effect and take an 8 cost or less character card from your trash to your hand. Then we have a big blockers like 5-6, we have 2, Mr. 5 and Hannibal. Hannibal is a common card and Mr. 5 is an uncommon, so likely you can pull these cards as well. It's always nice to have a 5-6 deadline blocker because you prevent your opponent from swinging 5, so it's like for you a free blow. The nice deadline has also a Rosinante super rare 6-8, and sometimes conditionally it can also allow you to draw a card. The Jinbi blocker is a great card. It's from EB04 and 7-8 body on field and has an on-KO effect. You may rest one of your card. If your leader is a Fishman or Merfolk, you can play up to 1 green character card with a cost 6 or less from your hand. So there is a great combo with the Jinbi. I will show it later, but it's a cool card. You can include it for sure in your deck. We have a biggest blocker, Edward Newgate, 8/8. On play, doesn't work. And of course, the best blocker in this format is the Nami 4 cost. It is super rare, a bit difficult to pull, but possible. And with great on-play effect, you can rest up to 2 of your opponent's character with the cost of 8 or less, and then set up to 5 Dawn cards as active at the end of the turn. Of course, it's great in a red-green Luffy deck, but in this set there are plenty of counter events, so it sometimes could be also good to have some extra active Dawns at the opponent's turn. And you can also play this card if you are going for game, because you rest blockers, you rest any character, so you can clear the board and also have a blocker. Okay, we are done with the blockers. The next step will be vanilla cards. It will be quick. We have only 3 vanillas in this set. There is 3/5, 6/8 and 8/10 stat line. The great one is a 6/8. In the middle it's a big and sticky body, which will be very hard to deal with for your opponent. Actually, you can pull all of them, not of course a play set, but several, and include all of them, because 3/5 is the early game play, 6/8 is the middle game, and 8/10 is like a big monster. But if you have a better play with other cards like a blocker or like big bodies, so better than change it with this one. The next station is Vanilla's Plus cards. So let's talk about why Vanilla's Plus cards are great. They have a vanilla stat line like 3, 5, 4, 6 and so on. They have no counter, but they have an effect, so they have an extra advantage. We have plenty of Vanilla Plus cards. Let's start with the smaller bodies. All 3/5 characters are debatable. The worst one is Marguerite, which is on play Sorcerer passed with a cycle, so you pick one and trash one, not relevant in this format. Absalom Thriller Bark has an effect on KO, Search top 3 for Thriller Bark, but also not really relevant in this format. But the Ryuma 3/5 is a good card. You obviously want to play it because it has no counter, and on KO you have a cycle, draw 2, trash 2, so you can cycle your hand a bit. The greatest card in Seal format, I would say, it's this 4/6 body Mr. 3 from Barkworks. Look at his effect. On opponent's turn, once per turn, if this character would be KO'd, you can put 3 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck. KO'd in this case means KO'd in battle or by effects, so it's KO protected. You can either counter or use his effect and put 3 cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck, so it's really sticky. You should have 3 cards in your trash at least, but at the end game it's not pro. The next one is the Bluegrass. It's EB04 cards. On play you bottom deck a 1 cost, and when attacking you draw 1, trash 1, so cycle a bit your hand. It's always great in Seal format. Let's have a look at the Fishman package. We have a Chew and Arlong. Both are 1 cost 3 key body. Chew allows you to draw a card on play, and Arlong is the best sorcerer in the format. The only one sorcerer you would like to include in the deck, because it search for almost everything, 2 cost or more. You look at top 4. Don't include the Hachan, it just doesn't worth it. And the Jinbi. If you at 10 Dawn turn, you can play it, and it allows you to draw 2 cards, so a bit refill your hand, and bounce a 7 cost back to the hand. So it's a great tempo play, and you can bounce something back. And going next to the bigger body, we have 5/7 set line. The greatest card here is X-Drake and Vergo. They both have removal protection, and when attacking, a power debuff for 2k. They're sticky, it's great to play. You can also include the Bird Neptunian, because it's a common card. Vergo and X-Drake both rare, so it's can be that you pull them, but Bird Neptunian for sure you will pull this. And when attacking, if you have 3 or more Neptunian characters, we have 1 more in this set, so when attacking you can rest 8 cost. which is also not bad. Isha card, not relevant here, it's only playable in Kuzan deck, but we have one more card, is a ball, which in play allows you to cycle your hand a bit, draw 2, trash 1 and 5-7 body on the field. Is also great. So we have some more big characters in this set. The 6-8 Resonant and Low Blocker we already discussed. On play, if you have equal or less Dawn on your field, you can draw 1 card and then ramp 1. The best one here is of course a Kaido card. It's a 7 cost 9k power body, which on play, Dawn -2, it gains rush and you rest a 7 cost, and it also removal protected if a character would be KO'd, which means if it will be KO'd by battle or by effect, you just can return 1 Dawn. And it's like forever. Forever you have Dawn on your field. So that's just unremovable card, always included if you pull it, and it's rare, so it's possible from 6 packs, 12 possible opportunities to pull a Kaido, which is not bad. The Shanks. Shanks is like debatable card you can put. Of course, you play it for 7, but you can use his effect only next turn, because when it rested, so when you attack with Shanks, you can rest a 7 base power character, and on opponent's turn, if this character is rested, all of your opponent's board gains -1k debuff. Then look at this card, Shiryu, 8-10, a good stat line, but never play this card. The effect is just terrible. On play, you return up to 1 character to the owner's hand and then trash all cards from your hand. This is just a finish of the game. Then we have a boss monsters, which is Gekomoria, 8 cost 10k body. On play allows you to heal 1 Thriller Bark Pirates with a 4 cost. You put it in your life face up or you play it on field. But for this it's a little bit tricky. You should run Thriller Bark engine in your seal format deck, which is yes, a little bit tricky, so you should have a Gekomoria SR, and there should be enough Thriller Bark Pirates in the deck. The better option is of course a secret rare Crocodile. 8 cost, 10k body. On play, it prevents one of your opponent's character with the cost 9 or less from attacking. So -1 swing next turn. And if there is a character with a 0, which is not relevant, but if there is a character with 8 cost or more from your opponent's side, you can draw 1 card. On KO, great effect, you trash 1 card, play this character from your trash, which is not really relevant because nobody will attack 10k body, but as an option it's also great. The next big thing is board control, which is extremely important in seal format. For this we have plenty of removal options in this set. We can bounce characters back to the owner's hand, we can prevent characters from attacking or being rested, and also resting opponent's character can be considered as removing, because you can immediately attack them. And obviously pure KO effects. So bouncing power we have in blue. It's 2 cost hybrid event, and for total 5 Dawn you can play a 3 cost Fishman and return 6 base power back to hand. It has 3k counter as well, which allows you to draw 1 card, which is great. Then Jinbei, which was to play only on 10 Dawn turn. You can rest extra 2 Dawn and draw 2 cards and bounce back 7 cost. Unfortunately it has no rush because of the condition to trash cards from hand, but drawing 2 cards and bounce back 7 cost, it's a big tempo. For preventing characters from attack or being rested, we have 2 rares and 2 secret rares. 4 cost 5k power and 1k counter Piranha with on play and on KO effect. Up to one of your opponent characters 6 cost or less cannot attack. In combination with other Thriller Bark cards and 8 cost Gekomoria, you can heal 1 life or play it back to the field from your trash. 2 other secret rares, Croc and Mihawk, they are real boss monsters here. With Croc's effect, opponent's character 9 cost or less cannot attack. On the other hand, Mihawk allows you to turn any card into 2k counter but once per turn. In seal format, Croc is more powerful than Mihawk, not only because it's cheaper, but the effect you can use immediately. For Mihawk, you can use his effect on the next turn, When this character is rested, up to one of your 9 cost character cannot be rested. And finally, 5 cost Ice Time event. It's kinda replica of Banned Ice Age, so for 5 cost and by trashing 1 card, you can stop from attacking 2 characters with 10k power or less. So if you need to survive 1 more turn and then go for game, that's the way how to do it. In sense of resting opponent's character, there are many options in green and purple. In green we have 7 cost Shanks. On the one hand, his effect can be used only the turn after it's played, but it's definitely a very strong play at 7th on turn. Because when this character will be rested, you can rest 7k base power opponent's character, and on opponent's turn it gives -1k to the whole opponent's board. It's like having extra 1k counters for every of your opponent's characters. With SR Nami, which has blocker, you can rest up to 2 8 costs on play effect. Here is a tricky hammer drill. It's a 2k, but when rested, can rest a champ 4 cost blocker. So if your opponent keeps champ blockers on their field, you can drop it at the end of your turn just for 3 dots, and then the next turn attack with it first and rest that blocker. Then we have another Mihawk event, where for 3 don you can rest 7k power character and also draw 1 card. It is a 3k counter event as well, but only for your leader. Always include SR Perona, which on play can stun up to 2 5 costs, and on KO effect you can rest 1 card, it can be Dawn or other character, and play 1 green 5 cost from your hand, which can be, for example, SR Nami. This could be a very crazy play. Green East Blue Yosaku can freeze a rested 4 cost. Maybe it can be also considered as a champ blocker, because your opponent don't want you to have it on the field and force your opponent to attack it. Last but not least resting option is in purple. Here we have an amazing Kaido. Dawn -2 and it gains rush, and it also can rest a 7th cost. This card is crazy, it's absolutely unremovable. Look at this. If this character would be KO'd, you can Dawn -1 every time, so it will just stay forever on the field. And the last is the big guy Foxy. 8 cost, 9k power, no counter, on play effect. Dawn -1, you can draw 2 trash 1 and rest a 9 cost. It has also an activate main effect to ramp 1 rested Dawn. I'm a big fan of the Foxy leader, and this card will be definitely a great support, and I'm excited to play it. The question is, do you need to include it in sealed, I mean the Foxy? I would say yes. You can cycle your hand a bit, and you can rest a character and you play a big body at the same time. Let's move on. Talking about classic KO effects, there are some more cards. Starting with small bodies, we have a Johnny from East Blue. It is ridiculous and we just skip it. Better is Urok, which has a terrible stat line but nice when attacking effect. If it has 5k power, which means 3 Dawn investment, it can KO 3k base power champ blocker. At least it's 1k counter as well. Then we have 2 Don Quixote pirates, Gladius and Giola. Never take this Giola, but maybe Gladius if you don't have any other better option. It has an on KO effect, Dawn -1, KO or rest up to one of your opponent's 6k base power character. The best from cheap removals is EB04 Megalo to key counter. On play, you can rest this character and KO a rested 8k base power body. Isn't it sick? It can be so good if your opponent has a big blocker, for example, like 6-8, and you swing with your leader 5, 6 or 7k, your opponent make free block, and then you play for 4 downs this Megalo, rest it and KO this blocker. Sounds pretty good. Then an interesting option from yellow side, we have a 6 cost 6k power Rayleigh, which on play effect, if your opponent has 3 or less life, you can KO 7k base power character. A nice play after your opponents play something, for example, and moreover, this card has a trigger. Trigger is cool, it's the same as the on play effect, and if it comes from life, you are so lucky. And we have another monster in purple. It's 10 cost Doffy. With a Dawn -3 effect, you can choose either to KO 8 cost or less character or stun up to 3 7 cost opponent characters. They won't be rested until your opponent's next turn. And the last relevant card here is again a Mihawk hybrid event. For a total of 4 Dawn or 1 Dawn and 3 cards, you can KO a rested 7k base power character. It is a 3k counter event as well for your leader, and I think it's worth to include because it's very flexible card. Summarizing the removals, I placed these 4 cards as the best removals in this format. There are Rayleigh, Doffy, Jinbei and Kaido. The thing is that we don't have a cost reduction in this set, but only power manipulation. But removing effect mostly works with base power or cost. Remember, a board control is the key and very important, and if you force your opponent to give you some cards by protecting their board, you also reduce the hand size of your opponent, which can bring you to the winning position. And now from the removals we are going to the end game, and here we need some finishers. Finisher can be a rush character, can be a card which can rest blockers and helps you to go for game, or even just a strong big body play. Usually there are not too many rushers, but in this set we have 4 different options. We have one uncommon Cavendish, which is easy to make a rush character, it needs just to be a 5k power. Then there are 2 rare cards, Zoro and Kaido. Zoro is a 7-8 stat line, and when attacking effect, give -1k to an opponent's character. Kaido we have already discussed previously, it's a 7-9 rush and can rest 7 cost. And the last option is the super rare law, which has rush and a very unique effect. On opponent's attack once per turn, you can trash 2 cards from your hand and swap a base power of one of your character with the base power of your leader. So let's take in account this low power with 10k, so we swap 5 with 10, and for one battle it becomes a 10k leader. Actually, just for 2 cards you will have a 5k counter, which is absolutely a lifesaver if you need. I recommend you to include as many rushers in your deck as possible. Here I show you some math when you go for little, and you can see which cards gives us the best wings. Let's say we are at 10th on turn and you are going to play one of these cards. For Zoro, the maximum swing you can do is 11k and 5k with your leader. But the best math is 7k with leader and 9k with Zoro. In this case, your opponent needs 5 cards to counter these swings, and it should be exactly 3 2ks and 2 1ks. If you play low, the swings are worse, and you can do only 6k with lead and 10k with low. In case of Cavendish, it looks similar to Zoro, 7 and 9k swings. The best math here is with Kaido. You can either do a big 12k phase, I'm not talking about just attaching 10 Dawn to your leader and swing 15k phase, but you can also do 8 and 9k swings, which is the best you can do. I would say if you pull Kaido in sealed, you have a big advantage. Let's also mention how to go for game if you have any of these cards in your hand. Nami and Perona can disable 2 of your opponent's blockers, and you can attack all in with all your might. With Doffy, you can either KO any blocker in this set, or preventing 3 bodies from being rested, and go for game as well. What I didn't mention yet is the 9 cost bar, which heal you 1 life and your opponent takes 1 life. It's a bit tricky to play at the end game, because if your opponent has a full board and you are low in cards and have no blockers, it's tough. But having Boa as an option to play at the end game can be a game changer. The last is Crocodile, which is a big body play. Playing this card on curve can be really powerful, and nobody will attack into it later, it's too big. So these were the most important cards you should include. But there are also some other cards I didn't mention. I put it into the category Other. Here I sorted them in specific areas, such as an ability to restand your leader and attack twice, where we have Kiku and Carrot. They are both EB04 cards and super rares. Then we have self-buffing cards. The first one is Kozuki Oden with plus 2k buff. For Miss Double Finger you need to have 7 cards in your trash to become a 7k and 7 cost. And Tashigi. which has an interesting interaction. It has removal protection built in, you can rest a card instead of being removed, and for resting 2 cards, it can buff itself up to 8k on opponent's turn as well. From them, I would like to take only Odin and Tashigi. For the effective use of Rested Dawn, we have Killer, a simple card to reuse 1 Rested Dawn. It's nice to play at the first turn. The same reuse of 1 Rested Dawn we have for Ren, which can be played from life by trigger as well. Green Kinemon, you can play it actually for 1 Dawn, which is crazy, and then swing big with your leader, plus you have an extra character on your field. It has also on KO effect. You can rest up to 1 of your opponent's cards, which can be a leader, character or Dawn card, and a Coffin Bot. I definitely include it because it replaces itself. You play a stage, you draw a card, and gives you every turn 1 active Dawn at the end, which can be used for counter events. I played some games of OP14 sealed in the sim, and you know, ramping cards such as Pika feels pretty well. It ramps you an active Dawn at the end of the turn. Monet is nice, you can ramp 1 active Dawn on play, and on KO you can draw a crew, trash 1 and ramp 2 rested Dawn if needed. Monet is rare and Pika is uncommon. But with this EB04 King, you can even ramp twice, 1 active and 1 rested Dawn, so being on 6th on turn, next turn you will be at 10, which is such a big tempo. I recommend you to include all these ramp cards if you pull any of them. For the draw engine we have also a couple of cards. 5 cost Boa, draw 2 trash 1 on play, Igaram, also draw 2 trash 1, and optional an extra rested Dawn by trashing 1 card. Foxy, I've mentioned before, it's draw 2 trash 1. There is a Fisher Tiger, you can draw 3 cards, but have to trash at the end of the turn until you have 5 in your hand. It's great if you are low in cards, and it's a big body play. And the last here is a Neptunian 7-8 with the character Rush. By the way, this is a new card characteristic in One Piece card game. And an interesting on-play effect as well, you draw a card for every Neptunian you have on your field, so at least you can do draw 1, trash 1. If you remember, in OP13 set there was only 1 Garb Searcher which was good to play. In OP14 we have 1, and it's Arlon. You can look at top 4 cards for a cost 2 or more, which can be almost everything. You should include this Searcher for sure. You know, I feel something is missing, and it's counter events. We have so many of them, 17 in total, and they are almost all good to play. It can give you +2, 3 or 4k power, and starting with commons, which is more likely to pull, we have Shark Brick Fist, gives you +3, and you can set up to 1 of your fishmen as active. It's a great combo if you have a 7 cost Jinbei blocker on board, and has a nice trigger as well to rest a 4 cost or less. Sanji event. You can trash 1 card and get +4k power. Salamander, it doesn't worth to play at all, it's too expensive. We have 1 event from Croc, just a simple 3k counter event, and a common Mihawk event. Rest 1 extra card and get +4k. Then uncommon events. We have a Mihawk event again, +3k, and the second effect, you can rest 7k base power character. Brick Bet, a yellow thriller bark event. Just a simple 3k. If you don't have enough counter events, you can also include this 2 cost Doffy event, which gives you a 4k, and optionally you can ramp 1 Dawn. And also we have 8 rare events. The best one is You'll Frighten Me, which can be a lifesaver at the end game. You prevent from attacking 1 active opponent's character, and this can break your opponent's game plan completely. These 4 events all give you +3k. For fun, can KO a rested 7k base power character, and Jinbei event allows you even to draw 1 card. Kaido event costs only 1 Dawn and Dawn -1, but give you a full 4k counter. Don't take these last 2 events, Ground Death and Low event, they are conditional and better include something else. I think it's time to show you the best combos you can do in this sealed event. Disclaimer, please don't rely on combos, you need your pieces for the combo. I should tell you it's not easy, but possible. Let's go right into it. The first combo is Alabaster combo. If you play 7 cost Vivi, it allows you to play any 8 cost Alabaster type character. In this set, it can be 8 cost Chaka and Pell with a double attack, and on play effect, give minus 5000 power to your active leader and draw 2 cards. This is the best option in this combo. You can also play another green Chaka and Pell 6-7, it's a 2k counter, or even a 3 cost Igaram with draw 2 trash 1 effect. Frankly speaking, this combo looks nice only if you play Vivi into 8 cost Chaka and Pell. The second combo is Baroque Works combo. 7 cost Missile Sunday into, and it's funny, Mr. 2, Mr. 3, Mr. 4 and Miss Wednesday. But the tricky part here, you should play it from your trash. In Black Rock deck, it's easy to build your trash, but in sealed formats it's different. Combo number 3, and I like it because it's possible to realize. Here we have a 7 cost Jinbi blocker, which on KO effect you can rest to one of your cards and play up to 1 green character, cost 6 or less. The combo can be very defensive, because you can play another blocker like Nami and on play rests up to 2 characters, or maybe even 5 cost Perona and you stun 2 5 cost characters. If you want, more aggressive would be to play a 5-7 Neptunian Smoker or Chuck and Pell, or even 6 cost 5k power Mystiums. Moving forward, we have the last combo, a Fishman combo. For this we need either Aladdin or Shirahoshi from one side and small bodies like Kurobi, Arlong or Chu from the other side. As you can see, Aladdin on KO draws 1 card and Shirahoshi on play draws 1 card, and she is a blocker as well. And nice thing that all Fishman cards here replace themselves. They all have draw 1 card effect either on play or on KO. I have to tell you again, combos in sealed format can give you an advantage and tempo, but don't fully rely on them. And let's finally summarize the whole OP14 EB04 set. For this sealed event, going first is better, because of many strong 5 and 7 cost plays. But overall tip, look through your deck and check for which curve you have the cards. If you have many 3, 5, 7, 8 plays, try to go first. If it's more like 4, 6, 8 cost cards, try to take second. There are a lot of 2k counters in this set, that's why it's better to swing 5 and 7ks. It will force your opponent to use more cards. Removal and board control is very important. Be careful by using blockers. There are a lot of ways to deal with them, but if your opponent can deal with your blockers once, it doesn't mean he can do it again next turn. And remember, if you don't have any perfect play on the current turn, don't afraid to just play a 2k vanillas with a good stat line like 6-7. You can counter with other cards later, but having a body on your field, it feels just stronger. I wish you good luck in upcoming event and thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, there will be more One Piece videos. Bye bye.